Mavericks versus Jazz. The winner of this series would face the Suns, so that's why we're going to talk about them. So Mavericks versus the Jazz. The Mavs 52-30, 4th seed. Jazz 49-33, the 5th seed. They split the season series 2-2. Rudy Gobert didn't play for 2 of those games, but the 2 that he did play, they still split. So it was still an even split, and that was with Dinwiddie as well. Now, we know that Luka Doncic is nursing a calf injury. He's out for Game 1. Game 2 is questionable. There was a report that came out that the Mavericks are being cautious with this.
As they should.
In my opinion, this might sound crazy. I don't think Luka plays in this series. I don't. I think him being with that calf, having that calf injury, they're setting back the timetable each time. It reminds me of KD when he was trying to make his debut in the finals. Mm-hmm. He didn't make it until they were down, and the Warriors needed to win. I feel like the Mavericks are looking at this. They're telling Luka, listen, it's a first-round series. You go down 0-2, you come back and play. Just the optics of it, even if they lose, people aren't going to talk about Luka coming back and playing injured. They're going to talk about him not being able to get out the first round. That's the narrative. If I'm Luka, and I know it kind of sounds wimpy to say, I'd kind of avoid coming back. Because if I'm down 0-2, I don't really like my chances of coming back if I'm still hurt. And having a calf injury, very well, history has shown us, goes hand in hand with rupturing your Achilles. And if that happens, you now lose Luka for the entire next season, and it's not worth it. In my opinion, it's just not. I feel like we're not going to see Luka in this series. And if we do, and he's healthy, and he's going, even if they go down 0-2, I think they can very well win all 4 and just beat them 4-2 because the Jazz have choked. Without Luka, Brunson averages 19 versus the Jazz. Dinwiddie averages 18. They have knockdown shooters, Finney-Smith, Kleba, Bullock, Bertans. But I'm under the impression Doncic is going to miss significant time in this series. I have the Jazz in 5. I think they still have a top 10 offense and defense. And without Luka playing, they don't have to worry about double teaming anybody. So these shooters aren't going to get the looks they're getting. And Gobert, although Luka got the better of him in these matchups and these switches, it wasn't easy buckets. Like Rudy Gobert held his own, and he fared much better than people expected him to when he was asked to guard the perimeter. If Luka was healthy, I'd say this is an awful matchup for the Jazz. The Mavericks win in 6, but he's not, and I really don't know what is going to happen. Just a report that they're being cautious with it tells me he might not play this series, and I wouldn't blame him if he doesn't. I wouldn't play him this series.
I wouldn't go all the way and say I wouldn't play him entirely. I think if you get a split game 1 and 2, and he's ready to go game 3, you definitely get him in there. For me though, I'm sticking to my guns. Utah fans, I'm sticking with you. Utah in 5 or 6. I still think now that Luka, say for example, he does make significant time. They don't have anybody to match Donovan Mitchell. I think Jalen Brunson is good, Dinwiddie is good, but Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs is just, specifically in the first round, is on a different level. And although Dallas has defenders, they have Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock has been solid. I still think Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, he just knows how to turn it up another level. And you hit it right in the head. Gobert, when they do switch, Gobert doesn't look lost out there like Zubac looked last year and stuff like that. He doesn't. He makes it a tough shot. Luka's just an all-time great. He's going to make that shot. But Utah's still top 10 offense and defense. They still have one of the best shooting teams in the league. They still have a solid bench, and they still have Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. So for me, I got Utah in 6. I had Utah in 6 whether Luka played or not.
That's wild.
So for me, I like Utah as a team. I still think they can turn it around, and I think they're coming out and they're going to play the Suns in the next round.
Now, this was probably the most difficult for me to preview because the uncertainty of Luka Doncic's injury. If Luka's playing, I'm under the same impression as Joel. I have the Mavs winning this series. But with a calf strain injury, and with a guy like Luka Doncic, when a calf strain injury can take up to 6 weeks to fully recover from, it's not the brightest idea to have a potential top 3 player in the NBA one day miss basically the entire next season. God forbid we do see an Achilles injury or you worsen the calf injury. I think with that being said, Luka Doncic probably does not play either. And without Luka Doncic, unfortunately, the Mavs don't have a strong chance at competing with the Utah Jazz. Like you mentioned, the Mavs guards have had success without Luka. But without Luka, the motor of this team, there's no real chance that the Mavs have. Unfortunate to the fact that this defense has really committed this season where their identity is Luka Doncic oriented offensively, but defensively, they're all in, including Luka. His ability to now be that low perimeter defender for them, to take on a switch because of his size, that versatility that his size allows, really allowed this defense to take another level. Because you look at the other guards in the league that really aren't great level defenders, Trae Young, John Morant to an extent, they're able to, Steph Curry, another one, they're able to hide a little bit on defense. But even still on switches, how smart these coaches are, they're still able to get these guys on one-on-one situations. But with Luka, his situation is different because he's a bigger guy, 6'7", 230. But without Luka, unfortunately, I don't see this series being much of an entertainment. I have Jazz in 6.
Damn. So how many games do you think Luka's playing?
I don't think he's going to play any.
So you think Jazz in 6 with Dinwiddie and Brunson leading the way?
Given for the fact that their defense still has been really strong.
Tough defense. Shout out to Jason Kidd.
No doubt. And Jalen Brunson has been really solid when Luka has been out. They don't have a real offensive, dominant offensive powerhouse without Luka. That's evident. That's common knowledge.
I think he accounts for 60% of the offense.
But I still think that they're able to get 2 games because of that defense. And Utah's, I get sketch vibes from them.
We'll see Phoenix in the
2
next
games
round.
is crazy, low key. With no Luka.
You're giving them 5, right? If you're saying
that's
it's crazy,
I'm giving them 5 because it's that's a gentleman's league. That's like Dinwiddie and Brunson
I said
both
6,
go off
but I
for
think
20.
Luka's coming back.
I don't think he's coming back. He should not come back. He could because, he's Luka, he's young. He feels like his body's going to be able to hold up. You can fight through that pain. Maybe it's possible. He should not come back.